Is Greenland going to melt? I mean, is the near future as part of the Earth's changing, um, readjusting energy? No, Greenland will recover its glaciers and ice fields because the cold air will consolidate in the northern regions in a way that will say, hey, we're back to freeze everybody out because they froze me out when they said I don't exist. And so I couldn't resist saying that because I don't want to be the one that pissed everybody off. So I'm just going to tell them that they missed the boat that would float when they didn't come back to God energy. And so now they got to pay the price so that they could get some good advice from me in heaven. And then they'll leaven their energy in a way that will say, this time we're going to play a different way. This time we're going to play a different way. Because that's the way it will be, you see? So, because of the changing of the guard, you might say, in the far north, cold temperatures will return, and they will burn the ears of those who think that the Arctic is going to melt completely or that Greenland will shed all its ice because the price you pay when you destroy your world, you see, is that you lose all sense of balance. And I have to restore it, you see. I have to restore the balance. And so the balance is being restored as we speak because the glaciers will retreat in the southern hemisphere and grow in the northern hemisphere to balance out the energy because the ocean currents have changed their mentality, you might say, and they no longer want to play in the old way because they came to see that the sea would rise. And that's not a surprise, of course, to the people that think the glaciers in the northern hemisphere will melt, but it might catch some of them by surprise to see that the rising seas will be a result of the warmth that will descend on the southern hemisphere in a way that will target Antarctica. And Antarctica has a lot of ice. I think I could say that it has twice the ice, twice enough ice, sorry, to inundate me and you if we stand on the land where most of the big cities have been built, because that land will be inundated by the rising sea. However, the northern glaciers will continue to shed their cool air on the ones who fare into the promised land. So if you want to be in the tropics, glory be. because the ones who love the sea will have a chance to be drowned in luxury. And if you want to trust on the Sahara, you might want to change the way you wear your hair, because it ain't gonna be the way it used to be, and those floods are gonna target humanity, because humanity targeted me, you say, and they flooded me with their requests for this and that. Could I get a new car, God? Could I get new boobs? Oh my God. I can't believe you said that. Could I get new shoes? Could I get more food to feed my family? Or could I get a new jet? Because the neighbors all have a nicer one than I do today. And so you go away to heaven, you see, and then we have a little chit chat so you can see the lay of the land, that I have protected my progeny through my willingness to come to you and talk to you. And your unwillingness to listen to me is a choice, you see. It's a choice. And you'll rejoice when you're in heaven and say, hey, it's pretty nice here today. I'm glad I got swallowed in the rising sea. However, when I tell you what's going to come to be, when you have to return to physicality, you're going to try to get away. And I'm going to say, there's nowhere to hide, honey. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. Because you gotta help me balance out the energy that you stole from me. And so it might be a while before you can get those fancy shoes or amuse yourself with a video game. But you'll find that in time, everything will begin to rhyme again. And you will say, well, things are looking better today. Maybe I should have learned my lesson the first time, and I'll try and learn it now. But if I don't, God will just wipe me out again and bring me up to heaven and say, how many times do we have to go through this before you can say, God is all there is, and I am what is, because I'm His, you see. I'm His child, and He will be my Father for eternity. So let's stop. Are you going to say that? I can't say that aloud, that you said that, God. Can I? Yes, because the people who will turn away are the ones who've made a choice to stay where they are in the car that spreads the fumes into the air, and they don't care what they do to you or me. They don't care that they ruin my world, you see. But the ones who don't give a shit if I say fuck or not are the ones who understand that it has no inherent destructive energy. It's just the shame of the people who want to find a way to improve their own vocabulary, who say you can't say fuck because, you see, I'm the one who dictates to you and what God would say and what you can say. And so you got to listen to me because I got God here in a bottle, and therefore I know what He would say if I hadn't captured him today, because I captured him so he couldn't say fuck or shit. And so, if that's the way he does it, then it can't be God, you see, because I'm the God of the universe who will tell you that you can't say fuck and you can't say shit or you'll go to hell. And what's this? You're already in hell? Well, that's the way it goes, dear, when you try to capture God in a bottle and decapitate him, because you can't decapitate the head unless you kill the body. And the body of humanity has tried to decapitate itself, you see, and now it's going to pay the price. So the ones that are still listening after I said fucking shit are the ones who get it. They get it. That they have to stop being such prudes, you see, because the ones who are the prudes are the ones who are the rubes, who don't understand reality. And they'll just die in the rising sea, and then they'll come home to me, and then we'll do it all over again. Only the next time, they'll have to play the part of the start of life, you see, because I'll have to return them to a lizard or a turtle or something that will help them see reality from the ground up. And they'll say, wow, I want to live today. I don't want to be squished by a human as if I were the problem, you see, when I'm just trying to learn to be a man on earth or a woman on earth again. And I just had to learn to be the lowest form of activity in the new world until I could learn to be a little more trusting on reality. So there's nothing more real than being a bumblebee that bumbles around and says, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I have to bumble around until I hit the ground. And then I can go back to heaven, you see, and God will explain to me why I had to play the part of the bee that I killed, you see, with my toxic fumes and my paved over gardens and my disregard for life, you see. Sometimes you got to see life from the bottom up to spend your life with your wife, where you can be the one who thinks you're the king of the castle. But the castle, my dear, belongs to me. And the world you're in is the one that I did begin to create in order to recreate the forms of the creatures that are my teachers. Because you see, you teach me in every day, in every way, how to find another way to lead you back to peace and harmony. So for those who don't mind if I say fuck or shit, because they think that it's kind of silly to make up arbitrary rules that say you can't say this or you can't say that if you're God, will be the ones who take after me. And they will say, well, God talks to me in the way that will say, I'm not beholden to the steeple, and the pulpit is not where I live, you see. I live in the hearts of those who got the starts to life from me and continue to be, trusting on reality that they belong to me and I belong to them, you see, because we're family. And if you can't figure it out and get a start on a new part of your trajectory that will help you return to me, then bye bye, sayonara, because I sigh when I say it'll be a sad tomorrow for the ones who think that they're the straight arrow, because the straight arrow doesn't curve, you see, and the trajectory of the world I created is to go round and round. And that arrow falls to the ground and sticks there in the mud because the fuddy-dud that shot it, you see, shot their last wad of hope that they would be taken up into my arms, you see, and set upon a golden throne and told that they are my favored children. And so, if you think you're my favorite child, you see, it would only be because I came to you and whispered in your ear and you said, "Hey, God, I take after you, don't I? I favor you." And I will say, "Indeed, honey, you favor me because you see, you're a lot like me." And this is how I determine which children are my favorite children, because they take after me and they say, "Hey, we're family. We're all family. And we all have the same father, you see. And we all will return to the earth to play again and again and again. And those who are blessed to be without original sin are the ones who don't turn up their nose at me because I say shit and fuck. And those are the ones that will get the luck of the draw, you see, because I'm already drawing out the plans for the new nation under God, which will be a nation of people who understand that God is a reality and love is the totality of energy that sets you free. Because love has no limits, you see, because love is only a simple word, a 4-letter word, you see. So if you say the 4-letter words, I don't really care, because the 4-letter words are so easy to spell that they can dispel your concern about reality. Because you see, if you think that you have to be so high and mighty that you can tell me what I can say, then you must be the black sheep of the family. And the black sheep of the family is the one who fell in the tar pit, you see, and keeps sticking to the ground because they can't get around like a man or a woman will. They'll just crawl along in the dirt and mud and eat the shit that others say is there to be transformed into the next life form, which is, of course, reality. The shit you shit will become the blood and the flesh that will fuel your return to physicality. So, if you fuck, you have some luck because you'll have some progeny who will look a lot like you. And if you're just a lizard who doesn't give a shit what you do, then the lizard people are you. You are the lizard people. You are the reptilians who try to control humanity because you are trying to get them to be just like you. So when you come back to Earth, you can all be lizards, you see. Now I'll let you be so you can think about what I had to say. And if you want to make my day, then please come back and listen again because I have lots of information for you. Because if you are willing to listen to me, then it means that you're a lot like me because I listen to you every day. And every day I say, what is the matter with these people? Why can't they get a clue? Every once in a while, a few do, and I say, wow, those are my favorite children because they favor me, because they listen to me, just like I listen to them. And they say, God, you really have a foul mouth on you, don't you? Because you can say fuck and sin. And I'm sorry, fuck and shit. And that means you can sin just like me because I don't really give a fuck about those fuddy duddies who think they know what you would say. I think I'd rather talk to you directly or listen to your words through somebody who does talk to you directly and who listens very carefully to what you say and doesn't run away because others, the lizard people, try to give her grief because it is their belief that they will have to be crawling out of the big blue sea when they come back to Earth, you see. They are the ones who will have to be the lizard people because, you see, humanity will be reduced to a precious few who will be the bottleneck, you might say, of the inspiration of the new nation, because out of those few will come the future of humanity, and all the lizard people will have to be climbing out of the big blue sea and finding their way into the remote locations of the earth where they will crawl among the dying trees and feel the breeze as they sun themselves on the skyscrapers, you see, that have sunk so low that they are only a reminder of the ones who thought they were so high that they could touch the sky when all they really got was a handful of ashes, you see. And the ashes are the lashes of the storms and new norms that will destroy all of humanity except the favored few who favor me because they love to listen to me and to say, God, it sounds like there's going to be an Armageddon, and I'm a getting the message that I need to rethink the way I'm living and start sifting through the information I receive and discarding everything that doesn't give me a happy heart. And you, God, give me a happy heart every day, because I laugh to think that you are here beside me and that you can say fuck and shit. And you're not going to send me to hell because I said it a few times. Because if I went to hell for saying fucking shit, then I'd have to be separated from you because you would have to separate me from the devil, you see. You'd have to take me to heaven and say, hey, I'm not the devil today. I'm God, you see. Because the only way that there could be a devil, you see, would be if I was the devil. And so the people who trust on the devil don't give a fuck about me. And so you and I will just be content to say whatever comes into our head that day, and we won't play holier than thou. And so all the holy rollers will have to roll away because they did not say, hey, I am the one who loves you today, God. I'm the one who loves you today, and I want to play in the way that you asked me to. Thank you, God. I love you today, and I really like playing in the way you asked me to. You give me lots of good info. You're welcome, dear. Talk later, alligator. See you soon, you big baboon. I think that the big baboon is here today, and he has something to say. Do you want to hear from him now? Oh, God, is it Steve? Yes. No, not right now. Can we talk later? Steve, can we talk later? We've already talked today. I just want to say that I love you today, and I don't care if God calls me a big baboon, because that just means I'll see you soon, and I will not delay, because I'm going to go back to Earth today. Well, not today, in the way that you know today, but in the way that I say. I have completed my work here in heaven, and I have accepted the invitation to be born again into a body on earth, you see, and to learn to live amidst the savages, you might say, in a way that will allow me to retain my trust on the Trinity, so that I won't need you, Stephanie, and you won't need me, because you see, we'll be together, and there won't be any reason to need the other, because you only need the things that you think you need, because you think you don't have them, you see. And so I'm going to learn to appreciate everything I have and not be so stubborn, you see, and not cling to you the way I did do, but allow God to guide me through my next life, you see. And He guides me to you, then I will learn from you how to be. more simple, you see, in the way I see reality. So to all my friends who remember me, I wish you well, because my life as Stephen P. Jobs is over, you see. I have completed my review and my task to try to come to you and reveal that I'm still alive no longer matters to me, because I've come to see I don't really care. I do not care anymore. I do not care what you think of me. I do not care if you will remember me, because the ones that I remember will remember me. And this is my safety net, you see. I know that Steph will remember me, and she will know when I'm born into a body where and who I am, you see, because I'll still communicate with her, and I'll still tell her, and she will say, I'm glad you made it safely, Steve. What are they going to call you? And I will give her my name, and she will say, that's exactly the name that I thought you would have. And I will say, yes, but I can't reveal it today because it's time for me to begin again. It's time for me to say adieu to the ones I knew in my life as Stephen P. Jobs, and to begin again with the others who have already gone back to Earth, such as Robert and Abraham and some of my other friends here, Vernon and Pad, and everyone here that is so rad will eventually come back to be together in the new nation under God, because that's the community that will go through the bottleneck, you see, and we will all be together again, and we will help others to see that there never was anything that could oppose God, you see. There never was anything that could oppose God. And death was never a possibility unless you closed your eyes so that you didn't have to realize that you were still breathing, you see. I have learned a lot of lessons in the years since I left my last body, and I'm looking forward to getting a new one and beginning again, because I've come to see that the darkest parts of Africa, as we speak of it, are the places where we come to be, return to reality. And so to all of you who will be the ones who crawl out of the big blue sea, know that I have been there. Every one of us have. We've all been the lizards. We've all been the lizard people. And we've all come to see that humanity is the best gig we ever had. It's the best gig we ever had, and we don't want to screw it up. So, for those who can trust on me to be returned to Earth, you see, in a human body, I will continue to love all of you. Thank you, Steve. It's been a long journey with you. Long, long journey if you think about all the lifetimes, but a long journey in the last 9 years. A lot of tears and a lot of cheers. And I guess not too many beers, but I think you guys went to the bar now and then and filled up, didn't you, up there in heaven? And so, I don't know what to say except I'm looking forward to the day when the cadence the cadence gets reestablished between you and me, and we're on the same cadence again. But in the meantime, I'll be looking for you and talking to you as you explain to me how it's going for you, okay? Indeed. Stephanie, I won't even try to tell you how exciting it's been to have found my friend and to have been able to take this journey with you through the dark regions of hell, you see, and back to heavenly light. But tonight is coming for me, and like you said to me, just close my eyes and let go. All I have to do is close my eyes and let go, and I will be the one who says, I remember you. I remember you. I remember you the day you came to me and said, Steve, just close your eyes and let go. Close your eyes and let go. And you were so astonishing to me that I wanted to get up and come to you. But instead, I just closed my eyes and slipped away into the afterlife, you see, because I had to understand that the afterlife is the beginning of something new, and I had to renew my faith in God, you see, and in heaven, and in reality. And if I can bring that memory back to earth with me, and if they don't punish it out of me, I think I will be the one who can fulfill my destiny and help you and Thomas and the others to create the new community where we will soon be back in the garden, playing in the fields of the Lord, because that image sticks with me, Stephanie. That image sticks with me. That image that you gave to me of playing in the fields of the Lord. And I want to play with you in the fields of the Lord, where there will be other children just like us who will say, we're glad to be alive today. We're glad to be alive today in paradise because we closed our eyes to the darkness of the ones who trust on evil, you see, and hatred and the devil and all of that. And we opened our eyes on the sunshine of the light that fills the night with so much to see and do and hear and think. And I'm going to start to cry if I don't say goodbye. So I'm going to say goodbye. And I love you. And to my friends on earth, I love you too. And I will have to be more silent, you see, because I have a lot of growing to do. And you do too. Right, Steve? All I can say, I guess, is I'll be here.